host, Scarlet Everose, and welcome back to another episode of my podcast series, where we dive into chaos and the beauty of anime. And in today's episode is one I've been really excited to share. In the previous episode, we explored the intense dynamic between Hisoka and Crollo, but today we're diving into characters who embody chaos and elegance. Hisoka and Shuu Tsukiyama from Tokyo Ghoul. Before we get started, no disclaimers today. I've been getting into the groove now, so grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's jump into this. Real quick, I just wanted to say thank you for all your patience if you listened to my first episode. And notice I was a little nervous. I was just getting the hang of it and learning my way around. And the editing could have been better, but now I'm improving and I promise the quality will continue to get better as we go. I'm excited for what's to come. Alright, let's dive in. Alright, who is Shuu Tsukiyama? Shuu Tsukiyama comes from one of my other favorite shows, one of my favorite horror shows called Tokyo Ghoul that came out in 2014, and I remember watching just a little bit of it and I was completely obsessed with it, but I didn't watch the full show since when I was in my 20s. High school was chaotic, that's all I'm going to say, so I really didn't get really into it until I was out of high school, but it's really good. If you can withstand gore, people getting eaten, or people transforming into these creatures, it is bomb. It is good. So Shuu Tsukiyama he's the main antagonist. He's a gourmet ghoul, which is considered a demon eating other people as food, basically. And he's obsessed with one of the main characters named Kanakaneki, and Kanakaneki turns into this rare type of ghoul that Shuu gets obsessed with. And Shuu is, in the beginning, he's very flamboyant, he's very narcissistic, he's French, so he says every 12 to 5 seconds of just random French words. It is awesome. He's very layered character. I feel like Hisoka was the blueprint of Shuu because they have similarities, except Shuu. Actually, Hisoka logically is considered much older than Shuu, because Shuu he was like born in the 90s. And so both of them are chaotic in their own way. They're both seductive in their own way, but one has character development, the other doesn't, which is aka Hisoka. So if Hisoka is the showman, Shuu Tsukiyama is the glamorous, eating, seductive, chaotic man that does it for glamour. He comes from a very wealthy family, but he has some character development that I'm going to get into it. Alright, red flag versus red flag. Alright, now let's get into real talk. Red flags is one man is flam. He's out there, he has a lot of flair, and the other man is refined of insanity, which is both, mind you, Hisoka and Shuu. Hisoka has a lot of flair. He likes to fight strong opponents. If he doesn't find you interesting, better believe you'll be under the floor within 30 seconds, or he might play with you for a while. He might tease your brain a little bit. He might love to see how strong you are, not just physically, but mentally too. The other one is out of insanity. Both of them are insanity, but Shuu is through the roof. Oh my lord, he is through the roof. When I mean he is through the roof, if you're just a delicate little human being, but you have the intensity of a strong sense oh, best believe he won't leave you alone, because he's not interested in the beginning in just getting to know you. No, he will put some French words. He will tell you how lovely you are, how this, how that. But once you let your guard down in front of a man like Shuu, honey, you'll be on his dinner plate, plain and simple. Because he's not interested in getting to know you. No. He's interested if you'll taste good. Which kind of sounds kind of wrong, but you know what I mean. And they both feed on their obsessions, obviously. But while Hisoka enjoys a game of survival, Tsukiyama is captivated by art through violence, of course. So if Shuu finds you very interesting, he will put on the gentleman act and take you out to dinner, tell you, like I said, tell you how lovely you are. But once you lay your guard down, honey, you'll be on his dinner plate and you'll be in his stomach before you can even blink or count to 3. That's all I'm gonna say. And both are manipulative. We all know, because I talked about Hisoka and Shuu already in my 2 episodes. Both of them are manipulated, but one manipulates because he wants game. He loves game. He loves survival and stuff. The other one is more gentlemanly. He loves to talk to you softly. He likes to make you feel like you're the only one. Versus Hisoka, if he finds you interesting, cool, better keep your guard up, because he'll do anything to keep your guard down, no matter what it is, no matter if it's a card trick, it can be anything. He will test you. Shuu Tsukiyama takes his time, you know. He's a man of, oh, let me get to know you. But secretly he's saying, I just really, really want to eat you, but I'm not going to reveal myself to you just yet. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to let your guard down, let you get to know me, make you feel awesome, make you feel pretty, make you feel handsome, does not matter. Versus Hisoka, he's like, either you're playing the game or I find you interesting, or if you're strong, awesome, I want to fight you. But if you're weak, out of my sight, peasant. Kind of like that. Both of them are like that, but one of them is more unpredictable than the other. I would say between those two, Shuu Tsukiyama is a lot more unpredictable than Hisoka, because Hisoka can be very playful, but then he can be very, he doesn't have the high. No, both of them are very temperamental, but one is more strategic. The other one is strategic too, but no, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Shu's outburst is huge. Probably more than Hisoka. Never mind, I'm going to switch it around. Hisoka is pretty unpredictable when it comes to that. Never mind. Hisoka's patience can wear thin if you make it wear thin, but, you know, Shuu Tsukiyama is through the roof if you push his buttons way too hard. Trust me, I've seen it. He's seductive both of them are seductive when they want to be, but when their patience are thin, Lord baby Jesus, hope you make it, because you won't make it out with those two men. I'm just saying. Oh, and Hisoka's very egotistical, as we all know. Theatrical manipulations versus Tsukiyama's more calculated, deep, obsessive nature. So yeah, so Shu's, now that I'm reading that, yeah, Hisoka is a lot more egotistical. That is true. Not saying Shuu Tsukiyama isn't narcissistic either. They're both narcissistic, but one's more of obsessive nature. Well, the other one is too. The other one is a blueprint of one of the other. So that's all I'm gonna say. Let's see what else. Let's see. Yeah, so like I said, so Hisoka's more of games, and you know, and he will test you to see how strong you are if you're willing to play with him. Versus Shuu Tsukiyama, he's more of getting to know you until you're on his dinner plate. Yep, that's pretty much it. Alright, attraction and power. So let's be real for a second. People absolutely thirst over these two, and it's not just the looks. Hisoka, the seduction of unpredictability and the excitement of being a challenge. Tsukiyama, the allure of beauty mixed with madness, the intoxicating power of control and obsession. It's the same energy. I can fix him, but with different layers. Alright, so these two characters, as I talked about with Crollo and Hisoka in my episode 2 video, if you haven't watched it, it's up here somewhere that you can watch the video from my other 2 if you guys haven't seen it. But Shuu Tsukiyama and Hisoka, okay, mind you, these are the type of characters people either... They're very controversial. I would say Hisoka's a lot more controversial though. But both of them are like, one of them is, unpredictable and seduction, and the other one is, seduction playing with madness. The other one, and that's Shuu Tsukiyama. Shuu Tsukiyama is a type that he may be lovable with you one day, and then he just explodes on you. He's mad. He's crazy about you. He craves you, but he doesn't know how to control his emotions. Versus Hisoka, he's the type of that he's very controlled. He's watching every move, watching your facial expressions. He reads body language pretty good. He's really good on that. And the reason why I believe, aka me, I'm putting myself in here, why we're attracted to these characters is because, yes, we want to fix them, but like I said back in my Crollo versus Hisoka episode 2 video, these are the type of men, you guys. Even though I would say in this episode, Shuu has more character development than Hisoka ever does. I have not seen 1 inch of Hisoka ever being sweet, ever being, no. He only does that when it's beneficial to him. Shuu Tsukiyama, without trying to spoil everything, but something happens in Shuu Tsukiyama's life. His family betrays him. He doesn't want to be around anybody, and he's really upset with Kaneki. That's one of the main characters, because I forgot what Kaneki does, but it's something about the ghouls. And Shuu gets really upset because Kaneki does something that upsets him. I think, if I can remember, I haven't seen this show in forever, but he gets really upset, and I think most in that, I think Shuu loses everything. Shuu loses his home, his family betrays him, everything, and he's by himself. He goes into this very, very deep depression of finding who he is, quote unquote, I guess you can say, trying to be better in a way. I mean, that's more effort than Hisoka would ever put in, but Hisoka does it for benefit. If Hisoka is very neutral, he's not a good guy nor a bad guy. He's very neutral because, like I said, and I probably did not say it in the second episode, but Hisoka betrays the fandom troop, which is Crollo's little killer gang group. He kills one of the members to steal one of the members' spider. They go, and I forgot to mention this too in the second episode, but they go by numbers. They have spider numbers on their backs, or tattoos on their bodies. And Hisoka's, a Phantom Troop number 4, I believe. But that's because he just took it. He was never a part of the Phantom Troop. And he goes back and forth. He helps the good guys, but he also helps the bad guys. But he always wanted to fight Chrollo. Let's just be real on that. Versus Shuu, he gets a very deep wake-up call. He starts to learn that, oh, shit, like crap, people are getting killed by us. Ghouls that are trying to be good are getting slandered or getting executed or something like that. And he kind of learned, and then he kind of grows how to have a heart in a way. And it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But like I said in my previous episode 2 video, just because a man, a person, a woman, does not matter, is going through something, but they have unhealed trauma, you guys, and they're not working through it, ooh, that is toxicity 2.0. Because if someone is not working through healing themselves, that is hella of a big red flag. If people don't work themselves because they don't see a problem with it, step away. Don't tell those type of people to get therapy, or else you're only gonna make the progress worse for them. So, like I said in my previous episode, be very careful when you try to help these people. Hisoka, people like Hisoka, they know they're insane, but they don't care. They're unapologetic at that point. They don't care what you think. If you want to call them crazy, go for it. But with Shuu, especially with the stuff that he goes through, he doesn't know how to regulate his emotions, so he just goes by emotions and not by what's going on. And by this, it can get very chaotic very quickly. And with our own desires, for example, when I said about the whole fixing thing, when you try to fix a person like Shuu, especially with the things he went through in the show, holy crap, you better be asking a therapist to get another therapist, because it's gonna be a long therapy session. Because holy cow, with Hisoka, good luck trying to fix him, because the only thing he's gonna do is play around until you're messed up in the brain, until you're messed up in the head, because he doesn't care about that. I mean, he doesn't care about being changed. And if a person, I want to say this, if a person does not want to change you guys, do not change them, period. They have to change themselves if they see they want to change. Not you, not whoever says, it's them, not you. Alright. Let's talk about personal growth, boundaries, and reflections. Okay, it's fun to dive into these complex characters, but let's also talk about how they reflect red flags in real life. So I'm going to use Hisoka and Shuu Tsukiyama as metaphors. Hisoka equals the person who thrives on chaotic energy, whose selfishness leaves everyone drained. Sounds like some people I know. Shuu Tsukiyama, the obsessive individual who demands everything and will stop at nothing to get it, trapped in their own fantasies. Okay, so these two men, as I just said, like I said in the attraction and power segment, these are the type of men that, the whole metaphor that I used for Hisoka and Shuu Tsukiyama. Hisoka loves to play with you until you're mentally drained, until he sees no use in you. Hisoka uses people, period. He does not care of how, when, or where. If he finds you interesting and you're a strong opponent, better believe he'll work you to death. And he'll fight you over and over. And when you become his obsession, he will be the most possessive person you'll ever be. Because when he was with Gon, he was obsessed with Gon. He wanted to fight him that bad. Versus Shuu, he was obsessive. When it came to Kaneki, before Kaneki became an actual goal, he wanted to eat, and he would stop at nothing to get Kaneki, and he was very obsessed. And the thing about these two people is that both of them are toxic in their respectful ways, but Shuu's, to be honest, I would be a little bit more scared of Shuu, because Shuu is extremely obsessive, very, very explosive. Hisoka is very subtle and very, very subtly. No, Shuu is very explosive if he doesn't get his way. And let's see. And we can relate to these traits because some of us have gone through this. Some of us have been through obsessive things. Some of us do things we're not really proud of. And, that's something, we either need to set boundaries or get fixed, even though we don't want to get fixed because we don't think there's nothing wrong with us. And that is a red flag. That is a red flag 101 right there. Nobody's a green flag, unfortunately. Anybody that is a green flag is rare, because you're not just the perfection doesn't exist. Perfection does not exist. It is something you work through it in a healthy way. And okay, like I said, when it comes to loving these guys, please, you guys, as much as I fangirl over these men, as much as I fangirl over Hisoka, as much as I fangirl over Shuu, please do not put this in this is how you want your spouse to be, how you want your boyfriend to be, how you want your girlfriend to be, anybody. Because these are the type of people that don't know what they're doing. Well, Hisoka in some way, he knows what he's doing, but he doesn't care. Shuu is the type of person you need to be careful with, because they're very explosive. They can feel very doubtful, and it's chaotic, you guys. So just be very careful. Don't imply that. There's complete difference between fiction and actually wanting a person like that. Just because it's fiction does not mean it's okay to put it. That's why fiction is meant to be a safe space. It's meant to be safe for you. But when you try to imply that to human beings, that's not good. That's not good. So be very careful. Mind you, I know Hisoka's hot, Shuu Tsukiyama's sexy, but I know how these two men are. And since I love psychology so much, I will never, ever date these men in real life. I'm just saying, they are sexy. I might simp over them. I might say they're hot. I might say they're this. But I'm well aware of their red flags. But as I'm going to say this, if I had to choose between which one I would actually marry, if Shuu gets his life together and starts working through his trauma and stuff, Shuu Tsukiyama any day. Even though I love Hisoka, but at the end of the day, it would be Shuu Tsukiyama that I would introduce him to my parents if he regulates his emotions and stuff like that. But Hisoka, like I said in my other episode, he's there for a good old time. That's it. He's more like a hookup thing that if I have to put him as. Even though I do want to believe that even though we don't know his origin story, and mind you, we don't know Shuu Tsukiyama's story, at least in my personal opinion. But if I had to choose which one would be marriage material, it would be Shuu. I would marry Shuu if he gets his life straight. But if anybody is hurting like that, you guys, be very careful. Love yourself first. Regulate your emotions if you can. Be very mindful of who you're around with, who you take advice from, because anybody can twist words. Anybody can make it seem like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. It's not. You have to have deep healing about everything. And look, you may not believe in God, and that's totally okay, but like, I have faith, and I'm learning how to love myself slowly, be very mindful of my reaction towards a lot of things, loving myself, and I know you can too. I know it's not easy, but you can do it if you choose to change. Alright, so there you have it. Hisoka and Tsukiyama, two characters who are chaotic in their own unique ways, but who also serves as mirrors for our darker impulses. Thank you for tuning in into another episode. I love diving into these complex characters with you, and I can't wait for the next time. Don't forget to check out the teaser trailer if you haven't. New episode drops every Sunday, and you can find me on Spotify and YouTube as Scarlet Everose. Take care, keep your peace, and remember, it's fun to admire the red flags in fictions, but don't let them guide your reality. Love you all. Bye.